Well, hello, hello, hello. How are y'all doing this evening? We are on here, right back at it again, as O'Shea Duke Jackson would say. And tonight we're going to talk about, I got an update. After we got off here last week, I went and well, you know how when you talk about something on YouTube, oh, shoot, let me introduce myself. Let me back up. Hello, everybody. My name's Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am the host of this show. And on this show, we talk about anything and everything that impacts your repatriation journey. We talk about scamming. We talk about romance scams. We talk about land scams. We talk about people who have been unalived, women who have been unalived. We talk about what are we talking about now? Oh, kidnapping. That's something we haven't really talked about that too much, but we have been that's something that we probably need to touch on. And so that's why we're talking about that now. But you know what? Now that I think about it, when I was in Nigeria, that was an issue in Nigeria. Kidnapping has always been a big issue in Nigeria. So it has been on our radar, but not like this. Like the kidnappings in Nigeria are usually like for some money, you pay some money and then you get the person back. That's how it used to be. But that has changed. The last time I was in Lagos, they kidnapped this man. And normally, like I said, the rules are they kidnap you, you give them the money, they give you the person back. But these new generation of kidnappers, no, they took the money and they unalived the man. So the kidnapping is not the same as it used to be. So now they're kidnapping people and they're unaliving them. And now this new kidnapping, it seems to be a trend, and it's happening to young black women. So the kidnappers want the young black women because they sell them. Okay. The other people want the older black women because the older black women have an income and they can just unalive them and get the money. So either way it goes, it's about the money. And we are the money. It looks like that to me. So this kidnapping stuff is serious. Like after I got off here, wait, let me put up fair use. After I got off here last week, YouTube will just start bringing you stuff and bringing you stuff and bringing you stuff. So it brought me stuff about these young ladies. And wow, what this young lady, she's not a girl, she's a young woman. This young woman went through what these young women went through, because it's more. I found a story about 4 of them. 4 of them. And they're all the same age and they all have that same look. And I said, oh, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that look. So all 4 of them have the same look. Well, the other ones I didn't see. I shouldn't say that. But the ones I saw, I think I saw 3 of them. And they have that same look. These are the ones who were victims of attempted kidnappings. Now, remember, these are the kidnappings that they got away and that we were told about. Because luckily, these young ladies' stories made the media. Most stories don't make the media. All right. So they were lucky, they were blessed that their stories are in the media. All right. So let's get up fair use up here. We got it up here. Let me read it so we can go on. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. So the content on Kiki Loves Nigeria may contain copyrighted content not authorized for use by the owner. However, no copyright infringement is intended. Copyright material used on this channel falls under the Fair Use Section 107 of the 1976 Copyright Act, which states copyrighted material can be used for education, research, teaching, and commentary purposes, which is the explicit goal of this channel. Views expressed on this channel, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on Kiki Loves Nigeria belong solely to the author and not necessarily to the community, the host, or the channel. All right. So, as I was saying, so after I got off the show last week, I started getting more information about this young lady, Miss Ivy, that's her name. I got more information. Mika, I think she goes by Mika. I got more information about Mika. And what happened to Mika was just unbelievable. What happened to both of these ladies, it was unbelievable. When I was listening to these stories, what I was thinking about was in the Bible, you know, when they would go in and they would just massacre everybody, and they would leave one person alive, and they would tell that person, now you go tell the tale of what we did here today. So because they wanted them to know what kind of power they had and what they would do to you. So this is when I was listening to these young ladies, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of that, you know, that these young ladies, because I don't even know how they got away. These were grown men, grown, strong men from third world developing countries, you know, extremely strong. And that was money. They were money. So they're going to really fight you because it was money. So, and we're also going to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about, those two stories. We're going to also talk about our current events this week. We're going to talk about what happened in the Gambia. And I guess, I don't think it's still occurring. I think it occurred and now it's over. But I wasn't going to talk about it at first, but when I saw the videos, I had no idea it was like that. You know, people can describe something to you, but when you actually see it, you're like, wow. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Gambia is going to be our current events this week. This uprising in the Gambia. And let me get up my notes so we can, the video we're going to use comes from, what's his name? Nice Gambia. It comes from him. Nice Gambia has nice videos. And he did a really nice video. He was there. He lives there. Okay. He lives in Gambia. And this is an excellent source, like an excellent primary source, because he's like right out in the middle of this uprising. And this looks like it was really, really bad. It just looks like it was terrible. So I'm going to pull this up, and this is what we're going to talk about first. But let me get y'all comments. Oh, it looked like I went through y'all comments. I'm sorry. Let me go back and read them real quick. So this uprising, let me tell y'all the backstory. Because every story, every story has a backstory. Actually, let's go down here because this dude gave us a good explanation of the backstory. So Mr. YouTuber 551 says, for context, in case you're watching and don't understand, he said use, but it's the youth are protesting against police brutality after a young man was beaten till he was unalived by the police for allegedly having just one joint of illegal trees. Police brutality has become a growing problem in the Gambia in recent years because of a new government that they don't like. They say the government is using police brutality, okay. So this person is explained, he feels like, I don't know how he put that together, but anyway. So this guy, it was a young guy. I found the story. Let me go to the news source and not, oh God. Let me go to the news article, y'all, so I can tell y'all exactly what happened. I can give y'all a credible source, okay, of what happened with this story. So this happened, I believe it was last Saturday. So this is recent news, okay. This story, let's see, it came from an article from the Point newspaper and from a journalist named Yusuf Yobe. The country has been shaken by a massive protest in a town called Sanyang. So this happened in Sanyang. Over 40 young people have been arrested after the burning of a police station and a fish meal factory. This all started after the alleged unaliving of a local man by a Senegalese national. Wait a minute, is this the right one, y'all? Didn't this happen yeah, I guess this is it. Y'all know what this sound like to me? The fish market story. Remember the fish market story? Oh, but you know what? That wasn't a Senegalese national who did it. Wasn't that a Chinese man who did that? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking out loud because I'm like, this sounds like another story. So, okay, let me get back to this one. So it all started after alleged killing of a local man. Let me go see if this is the right one. I don't trust this story. This story sounds too much like the other story. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back and check this source real quick. Because it sounds just like what happened. Remember when the guy was killed unalived at the fish market? Let's see, it was a youth protest. Remember when the young guy was unalived at the fish market in Gambia? Breast. That's what I'm thinking. I want to make sure because I'm trying to speak proper English. This is the problem with some stories in Africa. You can't find like a real credible source. Okay, so here's another one. Let me go to this one. So basically what happened, it says, no, yeah, that wasn't the right one. Okay, 23 protesters on 2 miles. Yeah, let me tell y'all what happened, okay? So this is what happened. It was a young guy the police caught him, and he was smoking, allegedly, because we weren't there, we don't know. This is what the police have said, and this is what other people are saying. It was a young guy who was there, okay? And this is firsthand sources that are telling me this. I'm trying to find a newspaper article, but at this point, I can't trust the newspaper articles because the information just don't look like it's quite right. But, okay, so the young guy was there. They said he was smoking a joint, just a joint, a little skinny joint. He was smoking that, and the police called him. Okay, marijuana is illegal in the Gambia. Okay, so they caught the young guy with the marijuana. So the young guy, they said they beat the young guy. They beat the young guy to, like the guy said, they beat him until he was unalived, and that beating till he was unalive is what led to the protest, because they felt like that was police brutality, and you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to take it all the way there. So that's what we're looking at here. Let me pull this back up. So that's where we at with this video from Nice Gambia, and he was there because he lives there. Okay, he lives in Gambia, so he had the opportunity to actually get the protest, which is really good. So let's look at this protest. And Nice Gambia talks a little bit in the video, but he's trying to run and catch up and keep up with everything that's going on. He should win an award for this video. So we're going to watch some of this. And again, this just happened, I believe, last weekend. Wow, this is really sad to see Gambia like this.
Police off. Fire tear gas. They have fire tear gas and the boys are angry. I'm firing back, stone at them. This thing is getting more and more serious. Now the boys are trying to find another way to evade.
Okay, if y'all can't understand him, because he's running, he's like trying to keep up with what's going on. And he said this thing is getting more and more serious. They started burning the fires. And like when my husband called me that night, he, like I told y'all when I came on, he was like, I'm going back home. He said, things is getting bad out here. He was like, the youth are out here protesting because the police unalived one of their friends. So he was like, I'm gonna call you as soon as I get to the house. So it was getting really, really bad.
The police. Trying to find another way, a shortcut to go around them. You can see they have blocked the road, completely blocked the road. You can see some of them are trying to go through this route to go over.
Everybody wants to know, are they protesting the arrest? I don't know. I don't, that they unalived him. He didn't even get to the arrest part. I mean, I don't know if they even arrested him before they unalived him. That's what they were so upset about. And my husband was like, that's like a fine. Like they fine the little young boys and send them home. They don't, unalive them. So that's that to me. I think it just sounds like frustration, frustration about a number of things. Frustration we don't have jobs, frustration that we don't feel like we're being represented, we don't feel like our voice is being heard, and then this happens, and then everything in the Gambia, I told you, is ridiculously high. So if it's hard for us to pay for things, just think how it is for them. So I think this is just the result of a whole bunch of stuff, and this was just the keg that just the straw that broke the camel's back. Police started getting serious. You see, the police, and you got to remember, a lot of their police are trained by the United States, a lot of their gear, because that's why they look like our riot police. When I'm looking at them, I'm like, Dad, they look like American riot police uniforms. Yeah, because they probably are. They probably got some of them from us. So that's who trains them. I told you, Gambia is cool with the United States. That's their friend. So, this is a no. This is a big no. This is a huge no. And they say it's the youth, but some of them are youth, but some of them, honey, the youth can go up to 40 years old. Some of them are just grown people. It's not just, don't think it's just teenagers. No, they don't do, no. We think of, it's 16, 14-year-olds, no, these will be 30, 40-year-old people. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. These are probably unemployed people. Just like my husband said, I said, so what happens now? What happens next? This protest looked pretty bad. He said, they'll go back to work. He said, come Monday, we have to all go back to work on Monday. So we'll just go back to work on Monday. I said, so what about the people protesting? He said, nothing. Nothing's going to come of that. They'll just do what they do, and then that'll be the end of it. And I said, so this is just business as usual? He's like, yes, that's what they do. They protest. We watch it. That's the end of it. And it goes, and things just go on. Because he said people don't have time to focus on problems like that. We have to worry about living. Okay, come on, Will. Now, what makes this really sad is that this is being done in a country that really doesn't have much. Like these people don't really have much. You know what I mean? And you're burning your streets. You know, you're burning your streets. You're messing up your already messed up roads. You see what I'm saying? So this is really unfortunate because y'all think they're gonna come in there and fix that? When we tow it up in the 60s, did they come in and fix it? No. There's a street here in my city called 3rd Street. When my mother and them tore it up, they never came in there and fixed that neighborhood. That neighborhood is still destroyed to this day. So when you tear up your stuff, when you got to think carefully, people. You got to protest wisely. You got to protest wisely. Because in the end, who's going to pay for it? You are. You're going to pay for this. Oh, y'all, this was bad. You didn't tell me how bad it was. Ooh, this was really bad. This ain't good, y'all. No, this was not. Let me tell y'all something. When I was in Cameroon, all right, this is the kind of stuff that would just happen in Cameroon. This is what they was doing in Cameroon because the Southwest province, which is where the English-speaking part of Cameroon, okay, for some odd reason, the government would not fund the English-speaking provinces. It would give them, I shouldn't say not fund them. I should say it would not fund them equally, okay? So the Southwest province, which is Kumba, which is where I was, they got very little resources. But when you would go to the French-speaking provinces, oh my God, it's like you stepped into another world. The roads were beautiful. The homes were nice. The schools were nice. Everything was nice. But then you get to the South province where the English-speaking are. Oh my God, the roads just was there. If they had roads, they were horrible. So the young people and the people living there really got tired of this, you know, and they were doing the same stuff when I was there. You could feel the frustration, the underlying frustrations. You could feel the underlying revolution that's in the air. And this is what another thing you've got to be careful of when you go to countries like this, because countries that are developing, they can just anything can jump off real quick. And if you're over there when it jumps off, you think you're going to be going to the airport and flying out? No, they usually shut the airports down. Nobody can get in. Nobody can go out. Usually the embassy is going to have to call for its people, the blue passport holders, the U.S. people. This is not nothing to play with. Nothing to play with. This is very serious. Now look at Kumba. Look at the Southwest province. Cameroon is just all divided, torn up because of this. The Southwest province wants to be, I think they got made up their own name. It's like they want to succeed from Cameroon now. It's really bad. And this isn't what you want in a developing country. You don't want these type of problems, because these are problems. And you don't want to be there as a tourist or as an expat or as a repat or anything when this jumps off. You don't. Because where are you going to run to? Where are you going to run to? Wow, this is so bad, y'all. Look at this. Man, I don't even know how long it lasted. Let me go back and see what he said.
Police are advancing. Police are advancing as the youth strategizing to block them. I think I'm not recovered from the tear gas, so I can go a little bit further. The road is completely blocked, so you can see the youths are diverting the traffic. Police, right there, you can see them clearly.
Wow, there they go. Don't they look like U.S. police?
You can see them strategizing to push the force back. Wow, that's not safe. These guys should not be going there.
Wow.
They're throwing stones before they break his
see? Even the formation.
Glass. Wow, yeah, he have diverted. More police coming.
Yeah.
Shielding themselves from the stones that have been thrown by the boys. Boys are blocking the road.
The boys better run.
Removing these slabs, putting it on the middle of the road. And they seem to be angry at the drivers. Hey, easy, no, easy, boy. Bye, little boy. Bye, little boy. Okay. Wow.
Oh, they're trying to get him.
Woo!
I wonder what they're shooting.
Woo! What?
Yeah. Oh,
and you can see one tear gas right there.
Oh, it's tear gas.
That was thrown by a police. Oh, whoa, another one. Run!
He said run.
Wow, you can see the strategy that they're using.
He said run.
Suppressing the tear gases. So the drivers are going to suffer as well.
Now, the difference between there and here, oh my God, this would, they would, I can't believe this. Y'all know this would have got ugly real fast. All of this wouldn't have been allowed to go on like this. This is bad. Real bad.
Like are stuck on the road. Ooh. You can see more tear gas coming. Right there, landing.
Look, they just kicking it.
Wow.
They kicking it back at it.
Right in the house of somebody.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. But that's hilarious. They're just kicking it right back at it.
Oh, yeah. So, it's okay, but. So they are trying to clear the road for vehicles to move. And that will also help them to advance. To get closer. As the police are clearing it gradually. So this is where they started.
Oh, now they're not in the neighborhood.
You can see. Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's what I'm saying.
This is where the junction that they came from. And they are branched into two groups. One towards Mandiri, the other one towards Serakunda side. As they are blocking the road with this big fire.
Right, this is crazy. Look, that's the police thing too. I think he actually got them setting the police station on fire. I think it's
Hey!
Wow.
Hey! Wow! Ambulance was attacked. What?
All right, now. So I think this is the part when they actually go to the police thing and set it on fire. Oh, this is like the same video. Maybe he's looping it. Because this is like what we just saw. But I thought I seen them like setting it actually on fire. But go through his channel and watch the video. But I believe you can see a clip of them actually setting the police station on fire. So that's what's happening in Gambia. Wow. That was disturbing. That was disturbing. Let's see what y'all got to say. And the Gambia has an embassy in Washington, D.C. Yes, they do. Looks like they blocked the street. I hope not. Well, I don't think anybody got hurt. I don't think anybody, got hurt except for the little young guy who was unalive. Now, he was young. Businesses won't get deliveries. Yeah, because it's going to hurt you. Yeah, truck drivers might not get paid. No, how can they? And then if their stuff is late, will they take into consideration there was a riot? Or, is that just your loss? Just their loss, They only fix the neighborhoods when they're kicking us out. Exactly. Rich people protest wisely. Poor people loot, snatched, and run. Yes, and that's the thing. You have to learn to protest wisely. You have to learn to hit people where it hurts, not where it's going to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's going to hurt them if they can't get tourists. You know what I mean? But that's going to hurt you too, because that's how your country gets money. So that's like the last thing you want to hurt, because that's going to hurt everybody. Everybody in that country is impacted by the tourist economy in Gambia, because that's what they live off of. So this type of stuff is just definitely a no for someone who has a tourist-based economy. True Kiki, it can't get crazy. Yes, it does. That's the thing about it. It gets crazy real fast. They don't even have stores to know. What? No stores to loot. So that's how bad it is. You don't even have, at least, they gonna have some stores to loot when they right. They gonna come home with some food, some new shoes, some electronics. That's how they looking at it. But guess what? That store is not gonna open up. And that store may not open any stores in your community. It may close every last one of its stores down in your community for that. So you got to think about all of that. And the people who are doing that, those are the people who don't think like that. You know what I mean? They live like in the now, because these are, people who are trying to survive, who don't, can make it from day to, sometimes they cannot make it from day to day. Yeah, they're just throwing rocks. That's all they're doing, throwing rocks. No, honey, it probably was the business just all good. Oh, you said it's not like their business district. You're right. Their business district would be some of, I think he said they were going near Senegambia, though. Did he say Senegambia, or Seracunda? I can't remember which one he said, but you're right. Senegambia is, look, y'all. Look what All Good wrote. Flip-flop revolutionaries. Can y'all be serious, please? Can y'all please be serious? Oh, God. Back to Eden. Yeah. This is a very serious matter. Okay, this is the news segment of our show. We have not been in here 3 hours. We've been on here 35 minutes. Yeah. Can we get serious, please? Can we stop? Okay. Okay, let's redirect everybody. because they're going to say we laughing at them, okay? And we're not. We are not laughing at them. We are not doing that. I keep telling you, this is a very serious situation. This is a no. This is a big no for a country like Gambia. The whole world, Clear Light said the whole world is going crazy. Why? And Clear Light says, why can't African people get on with each other? Why so many cruelty? Well, I think it's, just nature of people. People just, they want to be the best. They want to be the one in charge. They have the desire to be the one in charge. It's like human nature, and you got to control that. You know what I mean? So some people they don't control their desires. So they just let these evil, greedy, self-centered desires just take over, and that's their whole thing. That's all they think about is their desires, their wants, and their desires. And I think that's what leads to a lot of the cruelty, because you don't have empathy for the next person. You know what I'm saying? So this was wrong, what happened to this young man, and why not just, we can all gather, and why not we go to the police station? Why not we gather and we all stand, like how Malcolm X did when something happened. I think they had a little boy in jail in the county, and him and the Nation of Islam found out about it. Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam didn't tear up nothing. Honey, they marched over there with their suits on and they flats. That's what we used to call them when I was in school. We used to call them flats. And they had their flats on, and they marched over there with their hats on and their nice coats. And they stood there and they demanded answers. And that's when they realized Malcolm X was a threat. They didn't tear up nothing. They stood there peacefully. And that's when they labeled Malcolm X a threat. Because they said, if this man has this much power, one man to have that much power, that's a threat. He can control that many black men because he put up his hand. Y'all remember in the movie? And he told them to turn, and they all turned at the same time. Yeah. They was like, that's too much power for one man. Yeah, Malcolm X was even to the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X was a threat. So yeah, that silent power, standing in your own, all you had to do was, I'm just saying this is an option. No, wait a minute. Well, how should I say it? Let me say it another way. Let me suggest that maybe next time you guys want to protest, think about Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam and how they never tore up anything. They just silently protested. They would go and they would just stand there. They would stand there. One person would demand answers, which was Malcolm X. That's a way of protesting and getting the answers. That was a way you could have done it without, like tearing up the city, tearing up what you don't already, tearing up what you don't have. You see what I'm saying? So I hope I said that in a nice way. Protesting wisely must be done proactively, not reactively. She's right, Justine, you're right. Because once you get in a reactive mindset, all bets are off. Like Kiki, ain't nobody thinking about that. But a self-controlled man is. The Nation of Islam were. That was hot. That was a hot topic because it was in the 60s or 70s. It's when a lot of black people were getting unalived by the police and a lot of stuff was happening. So they were, it's who you are as a person. If you've developed self-control and discipline and taught yourself not to react, but simply respond, then you can do that. Because he did it. And they weren't even there for that. I think they were doing something else. And somebody came and told him. So they could have got all in a ruckus and went all down there and ran down there and tore up the place and tore up the police. They didn't do any of that. So it depends on your mindset, your mind frame, who you are and where you are in your development. whether you're still at that reactive stage. Because when you're reacting, you're losing control. You're just reacting. You're just doing whatever and saying whatever. When you're responding, it's something completely different. So I think that, most protesting, I wouldn't say it's proactive because there has to be an issue. You know what I mean? So most of the protesting is a result of an issue, not to prevent an issue. It's like, okay, here's an issue. We've told you this is an issue. You ain't done nothing about the issue. You still just keep the issue. So, okay, let's step it up. And then the stepping it up is the protest. That's the way I understand protest. I just read a Nigerian business owner was beaten during the protest. Wow. Wow. Hi, Kiki. Hey, Deborah, how you been? Oh, Deborah, thank you for joining the channel. Wow, I'm so happy. Cute. Where you been, girl? How you been? I love the way Black Americans stand together. Well, they do that sometimes. We need to do that more often. We really need to do that more often. Those were the good old days. And as you see, they shut all those people down. I don't even know if people like them exist anymore. We haven't had another Malcolm X. We haven't had another Angela Davis. We hadn't had another Dr. Huey P. Newton. We hadn't had any more of them. They shut them down. And they probably promised themselves, they'll never have those type of leaders again. Because do y'all know they have a underground political prison here where they keep political prisoners in an underground prison? Yeah. Yeah. Connie, yeah, we seen her. We're going to talk about that. I was going to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about it at a different angle, okay? Because that was another thing. I just see what these people, when I was researching about this Burkina Faso thing. I know I'm saying that name wrong, and I was coming across that. I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Let me finish this. 60s, present day vibes, totally different. Yeah, they are. Hey, Rosie. Hey, how you doing, Rosie? Black Americans have so much class. The situation in Nigeria is very sad. This happened recently, y'all. Did it happen recently? I'm gonna have to look because I had to quit watching Nigeria. It was breaking my heart when the new president administration took over, and these people. I knew that these people were. That was so disappointing because everybody was hoping that this other guy was going to win. We all kind of just believed, we knew, because everybody was supporting the other person. And when the person who won, we were just like, wow, they did it again. They didn't even care. But I told you, somebody told me a long time ago that these presidencies are arranged. So they'll have it pre-planned and say, okay, this is your turn, and this is your turn, and this is your turn. And if you give me this, I'll give you that. And if you give me this, I'll give you that. So that's why Nigeria is just so bad now. Like I was over there. I was watching a video about somebody who was doing he was over there visiting, and he couldn't even buy water because they had changed the currency. And nobody had the new currency. And it was just unbelievable. People care more about what P. Diddy is doing. And isn't that sad? Isn't that just really sad? Because when I was researching about these ladies who are being kidnapped and unalived, and I was, doing my little research, and I was asking why? Why is this happening? Why is there a common thread? Why are Black women being unalived and kidnapped at alarming numbers and missing in the United States and when they go over to other countries? Why is that a commonality amongst us? And you know, my friend AI, my niece says, Auntie Key, you better stop that. People are getting addicted to that. Like, girl, I know this is a dang on computer. I just asking stuff when I don't feel like typing it. When I don't want to type it or when I don't want to read it, I'll just, ask the AI thing. So I said, why is this same thing I just said to y'all? So it just research, honey. It said, you want me to do some research? I said, sure, do some research for me. So it did. All the research I take hours and hours and days and weeks to do, AI did it in minutes, less than 5 minutes. In less than 5 minutes, you know what AI told me? That nobody cares. That's why. It didn't say it like that. It used big fancy words. It broke everything down. But it said nobody cares. It's happening in the United States. Nothing is being done about it. So that sends the message out to the world that these Black women from America are they're the most vulnerable people in their population because nobody protects them. And how they know they're not being protected because they are the ones who are missing. They are the ones who are being unalived. They are the ones that this is happening to at alarming numbers. Alarming numbers. And AI said this is happening because nobody cares about this population of people. And I'm like, well, damn. Well, damn. But AI said it in a very nice, professional way. It broke it down. It showed me mathematically how nobody cares about this population of people. It did a very nice research study. And I was like, you're right. You're right. Because if all hell would break loose when one of us would go missing, if all hell broke loose when these ladies, when this girl got back here, when Mika got back here and told them what happened, if all hell would have broke loose at that embassy, this wouldn't be happening. This would not be happening. If all hell would have broke loose in Colombia, because this happens in Colombia, it's to men and women. Oh, y'all didn't know about the one in Colombia. I told you. There was another one. And this was this year. Both of them were this year. And I said, now, if this is happening, and these are the ones that we know about, what about the ones we don't know about? That's the crazy thing. We're going to get to that. So let me go back up here and answer this about Burkina Faso. I'm probably saying the name wrong. Please forgive me. But I was going to talk about that. I saw Phoenix's video, and I was going to talk about that. And then I started researching it because, I didn't understand where they were getting this information from. This sounds like this was a breaking news information. All right. So I'm like, where is this information coming from? Let's put Phoenix's video up here. And I couldn't find where she got this information from. So I kept looking, and then I saw T3andMe and Nourishment. And plus, we get a chance to see Phoenix. Oh, wait a minute, what's it called? She was talking about, and I'm like, why is she talking about Burkina Faso? And I'm like, did the woman move to Burkina Faso? And I don't know about it. Did she move? And because last I heard, she was in the Benin Republic trying to look. Her video ain't even coming up. I gotta go directly to YouTube. That's how much ain't thinking about her. Google. So hold on, let me go directly to YouTube. So I'm thinking she's in Burkina Faso. No, she's in, what is that, y'all? She's in, what am I trying to say? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. She's in Benin Republic, right? So I'm thinking, okay, she's in Benin. What is this? Let me stop sharing this. She's in the Benin Republic, right? So I'm thinking, okay, why is she talking about this Burkina Faso? Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso, Burkina Faso. Honey, I can't say that name. Some names I just can't say. Y'all, I came from laughing at my grandmother. She always told me, "You gonna mess up names too," because you always. And I did. I laughed at her bad every time she messed up a name, and she always said, "Okay, you just wait. You're gonna be messing up names too." Now look at me, y'all. I can't get a name right for nothing. All right, this is Chick's video. So this is what made me not. I was after watching this stuff and doing some research. I said, I am not talking about this because I don't talk about politics in the first place, and this was nothing but pure politics. And I'm like, okay, maybe I want to talk about it because it was impacting us, people who want to go there and get citizenship. But I'm like, okay, but where's the receipts? I couldn't find not one dang on receipt. So let me show y'all what she was saying. And then I went to T3andMe video. I'm thinking he gonna get to the receipt. He gonna show a receipt. He don't show no dang on receipt. And he's promoting his businesses and she's promoting her businesses. So they're basically saying, they reneged on the deal. Let me let y'all listen to this.
So in the wee hours of the morning here, my phone started blowing up. There was an in-network call for those people. Literally at least 1,000 people, I believe, were on that list for citizenship in Burkina Faso. The government has reneged on that offer. It will not be happening. People are heartbroken. There were tears. People are scared, and for good reason. There's a lot of stuff happening in America, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. A lot of people who live outside of America do not truly understand.
Wait a minute, let's stop this part right
here. They don't truly understand the trauma that already existed for us there.
So we're scared in America? We're scared? What are we scared of, Phoenix? Please tell me. What are we scared of in America? Because I live here, work here every single day, travel and come back here. I'm not scared of anything except for mice at my school. That's what I'm scared of. But other than that, I can't think of anything that I'm scared of. I don't like mice. I'm scared of them. But what else am I scared of? See, this is the fear they use to play on people. I know there's people there who are scared and who want to get out and who was waiting for this. Now you would think they said it was a list with 1,000 names on it, right? 1,000 names are on this list, right? So you would think, okay, there's 1,000 names on this list. There should be a list, right? Well, where's the dang on list, y'all? Where's the dang on list? This should be breaking news. This should be everywhere. If there was 1,000 people, where is the list? Where's the story? I couldn't find it. Please, if you have the story from a reputable news source, please send it to me. Because Phoenix Rain, T3andMe, and whatever they is, Journey with Us, those are the only 3 people I even found who were talking about this. And all 3 of them are promoting their own services. So them 3 are not a reputable source. That's why you got to check AI. You can't just believe what they say, what he say. You got to go back and look what his sources are, where you get that information from. Because sometimes he will pull from wherever. So if you don't know how to check sources, and if you don't know what a real primary source is, then you can get got. Because I don't know what these people are talking about. because everything I said, I saw was about they put something in their constitution. You know, they're trying to get it done. They're having problems, just like everybody else who's implemented some type of citizenship for us. You know, they're having some type of problems implementing the program. It's slow, but nowhere did I see, oh, no citizenship for Black America, for diaspora. I didn't see that. So somebody, please, if you're out there, show me where they're getting this information from. Show me. Let me put it back on.
Prior to what's happening with this current administration. And so now, people trying to get out, get their families out, having another option. Our hearts are in it. Our spirits are in it. People are making last-ditch efforts to save their family, to return their legacy,
to save
have
their
a
family,
legacy, to restore, to have something for their
family.
children to look forward to. And so this information, this breaking news that there will be no citizenship offered in Burkina Faso is a bit of a gut punch for a lot of people. It's a bit of a gut.
Again, people, if this is breaking news, why can't I find it? There should be stories everywhere. This should be international news. There should be more stories on YouTube. There's 100,000 million stories about Burkina Faso. 1,000, so many, it's unbelievable. People have dedicated their whole channels to talking about them. But these are the only clowns I can find telling this story. Where's their receipt? See what I mean? That's why these people are dangerous to our community, because they put out misinformation. Where are you getting this information from? Tell us. If they don't cite the source, it's not a source. It's not a fact. It's their opinion. It is their opinion. Because where's the 1,000 people? Where's the list? Who are the 1,000 people? Where does it say that? How did you get this information? You know, if they know, well, share with us how you got it. Why y'all three the only three with the information?
Punch, right? And so in this case, because y'all know sometimes I be wanting to make I told you so videos. I make those videos for the hard-headed people. I don't make those videos for the heartbroken people. This video is for the heartbroken people, because there are some broken hearts. There are some people that are in tears. There are some people that are despondent, not knowing what they're going to do, what's next. And so I'm here this morning to give some encouragement, to try my best to hold out hope for you guys, right?
And let me
to let you know that there are some other options.
Let me tell y'all what the hold now hope is. Using her as your consultant, using her as the person to go-to person. You see how these people are, y'all? And I'm trying to research this story because I'm thinking it's a real issue. I'm thinking this is really something that's happening to our community. And she's selling stuff. And then she break out trying to sell us stuff. Talking about, oh, there's other options. I'm like, okay, well, let me hear them other options. Listen to these other options, y'all.
Now, as I said, when I first started making these videos, these citizenship videos about Benin Republic, I'm going to restate to you that as it stands now, Benin Republic is the only African country that has made citizenship by recognition a law. They have changed their constitution. It's not going away. It is a process. That process is not necessarily completely easy for everybody. It's not difficult, but it's not as easy for everybody because there's different nuances. People have different situations. There's different documentation, all of those things, okay? But the process is solid. It's not going away, okay? So I want you guys to know that. I want you to know that there's hope, that if you still want to gain citizenship, you can do so here in Benin Republic, whether you choose to do it on your own or whether you choose to get a consultant like me.
And this is how you know that people who do that know nothing about Africa. You know nothing about Africa if it's just that easy for you to switch countries like that. You don't switch African countries like you change socks. That it don't work like that. I was a fool like that. I went to Cameroon and I thought Cameroon was just like Nigeria. So I thought, oh, okay. I went to Cameroon, so I could easily go to Nigeria. I went to Nigeria on my own. Thank God I met some people. I told you what I did. I went around, I went to events here, and I met a family there who introduced me to their family. And thank God that family looked out for me. But Nigeria was nothing like Cameroon. Nothing. The people, oh my God, the people are not the same. The dress, especially in Lagos. Lagos is not like Africa. Lagos is not like, let me repeat that. It is not like Africa. I'm going to Lagos thinking I'm going to Kumba, Cameroon. No, I got the shock of my life. So people who can just switch countries like that, that tells me you don't know nothing about Africa. And I had two college degrees. Two college degrees to say that, oh, she knows about Africa. She can educate you about Africa. West Africa, that is, during the transatlantic slave trade. So even during that time frame, I should have been wise enough to know these countries are different. They may have some commonalities, but they are different. You can't just switch countries like that. They're different and expect the same thing. You can switch, but it's not the same. It's not like going from Ohio to West Virginia is different. Even going from Ohio to New York, they think of Ohio as the country, as like cornfields. And I don't think of Ohio as that. I'm like, I'm from Ohio. I don't see corn. I do see cornfields, but not where I live. Well, that's a lie. I do see them where I live too. But, well, I guess Ohio does have cornfields. Cornfields and big spaces. That's what they say. And I guess it's true. Yeah, it is kind of country compared to New York. So if going from country to state is that different, what do you think going from country to country? And especially when you go down south, that's completely that's a lot different. And I'm not talking about Atlanta. I'm talking about those cities outside of Atlanta, outside of those major metropolitan
I'm going to do everything I possibly can to assist people. We'll be reposting videos and putting some info out there. But even if you didn't want to come to Benin Republic, there are other options. There's, as I've told you guys, there is a network of Black expats all over the world that are assisting people with residency and citizenship in other countries. I am here in Benin Republic for those of you who are interested in Benin Republic. Brother Fode is in.
So this was really all about the rest of this is all about her selling her little services. So I got off there, and then I remembered I saw that, what's his name? T3 and me had a video right here. He had a video. And I'm like, okay,
over in the country of Burkina.
Let me see if
ADDI and
let me see if he gonna talk about, if he gonna state some facts, or is he gonna just do a whole bunch of opinions too? Well, I'll be doggone. He was selling his stuff too. Listen to this.
And honestly, we cannot blame them. Now, I know it's sad. I know some people that are upset. I know it's a lot of our people who are looking for a way out. They are trying
to see the same stuff. This is, I swear, y'all, it's like, I think they buy a book. I think they buy a book and they got a leader telling them, this is what you do next. Okay, I'll make a video about this topic and then promote your what you do. Promote your hustle.
Get out of that environment that we are forced to stay in. They are trying to come to the continent of Africa, get around our people and experience that healing that we need to feel right now and be amongst our people. But there's a lot of different nuances that go into this, that go into coming over here, and that go into intertwining and integrating into a culture that, you know, we are very far removed from and we are really, really unfamiliar with. So I know it's sad. I know a lot of our people are hurt. I had a few people who seen some of the videos where I was promoting ADDI and telling people to go there and connect with them so that you can get your citizenship. And many people have reached out to me and expressed their frustration.
ADDI, from what I understand, that's like their organization, like an organization there that's going to help the diaspora, you know, get their citizenship in Burkina Faso. But that's what you get for trying to run over there like that. That's what you get for being greedy. That's what you get. That's what you get. You don't even know nothing about that country. You just jumping because they, oh, I can get an African passport. Oh, I can say I'm from Africa. Oh, I can. What? You just sound stupid. But that's what you get.
Since they've learned that they aren't able to get citizenship right now, but we have to understand why. You know, I know it's sad,
look,
but we have to really.
It's right now, and that's what that's what it was saying. That they're going through this process that no, you can't get instant citizenship. Nobody can. She said Benin Republic, but I bet you there's a process and I bet you there's a huge fee. I bet you all of that. But she ain't telling you that. You got to consult with her, with Phoenix Noodles, and whatever her name is, to get the information.
See and think about why they decided to make this move and make this decision. But before I go any further, guys, I have an exclusive document that tells you the most important things you need to know before you move or visit the continent of Africa. So if that's something that you want to have access to, just click the links down in the description box and you'll have access to an exclusive document, give you the necessary information to set a firm foundation when you decide to come over here. All right. So if you want that free doc, y'all look in the description box and go get that. Okay. But yes, guys, we have to understand
what it's all about.
Why.
Then he says
we're going to go through a 6-week boot camp, community-based. We're going to be in a WhatsApp group and we're going to meet weekly so that we can talk about what needs to be done realistically, so that when you come over here on the continent of Africa, you are able to position yourself in a way where you don't have to worry about being thrown out. You won't be thrown out. Worry about being put into a tough situation because you don't fully understand what's going on. One of the best things, the most important things that we should do before we come over here is plan and prep and get a full understanding of what you get into and what it really takes to stay in these countries. Now, people think...
Now, no matter how much you plan, people, no matter how much you prep, because when I go to Gambia, when I went to Nigeria, when I went to Cameroon, no matter how much I planned and no matter how much I prepped, it was never enough. I was never prepared for what was going to happen to me. I was never prepared for that. That's why they taught us, don't expect anything. Don't expect to be treated a certain way. Don't expect to have certain things. Don't expect anything. Don't expect anything. Just have your mind open to whatever. So as you can see, this person is selling things just like Phoenix Rain is selling their services. So I don't know, no receipts were ever produced in this video. So I don't know what's going on with that country, with this citizenship stuff, what they're talking about. But I did see that they were working on some ADDI, was working on some things, and like any other, like the other citizenship stuff in other countries is just moving rather slowly. But I wouldn't say that, I don't know, again, I don't know where they got this information from. That's why it's like I said, if I don't have receipts about something, I'm not going to talk about it. And especially a country that's so controversial as this country. When I was just looking up, it was just one volatile thing after the next volatile thing. It was just unbelievable. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, I wouldn't even be thinking about going to that country right now. I would not. And if I was Ghana, I would be scared that whatever happens, would happen over there was going to spill over into my country because they share borders. So if you're in Ghana, you better worry about it too. So those were the current events for tonight. Oh, good. We do current events for about an hour. All right, so those were our current events for tonight. We talked about what was going on in Gambia and what's going on in this citizenship stuff that these three YouTube people are talking about, because I can't find it any place else. What they're talking about, and basically we still don't know what the issue is, because what the issues are, because they were too busy promoting their goods, hustling their little wares, trying to sell their turnip juice, tonic, their tonic water. They're trying to sell their tonic waters. Yeah. So we couldn't really get, nobody cited a source. Nobody told us where they got the information from. So nothing. So that was our current events for this week. Let me get y'all comments and see what y'all saying about this. What y'all think? Did everyone see the young lady from the Congo saying nobody cares about the civil war there? Well, how long has the Congo been having a civil war? It's probably been forever. Many of us from the 60s are still here. We are observing from the background. Each historical time creates its leaders. Well, honey, Cotton Top, who's the leaders? Because I ain't seen none since the ones in the 60s. Who are they? Because I sure ain't seen none since Malcolm X, since Martin Luther King. Jesse Jackson sure ain't no leader. So who is the leaders? Who are the Black leaders? Not the athletes, because an athlete is not a leader. He's an athlete. So Cotton Top, I ain't seen no leaders since they knocked them all out, took them all down, and forced them into hiding. Angela Davis, she said she can't even go out her house. They got that woman so scared. You know, they used to call me that at work, y'all. They used to call me Angela Davis. And it was so funny. But I had to tone it down. I had to tone it down. Because it was like the Bible says, don't cast your pearls before swine. And I was casting my pearls before swine. They didn't deserve all that good information I was trying to give people. No. So I save it for my YouTube channel. No, this wasn't at the school. This was when I was working someplace else. Y'all know, and I had 1,000 careers. So who are they? That's the problem now. There are no leaders. We don't have any leaders. That was done by design, people. They know we need leaders. Black people want leaders. We work in a hierarchy. We're used to that. We come from a system where there's a hierarchy. There's leaders, but they shut them leaders down. When you're identified as a leader, you get shut down. And that ain't no lie. They have fake leaders. They took away the real leaders and they replaced them with all those fake leaders. The problem is greed. Yes. And that's the problem. Fake leaders are greedy and they're corrupt. Real leaders are not. Real leaders are meek and humble, and they understand that they serve the people. That's a real leader. They serve. I told you I created an international leadership development course when I was teaching at Wright State University. I told y'all that. So yeah, that's one thing we noticed. Those people, those leaders who were not corrupt, were service-oriented leaders. They had one in Venezuela. I forgot his name, but he was a very good president, and people didn't even know that. And he was a service-oriented president, and we did not get along with that man for nothing. And I cannot remember his name, but that country, he did all this development in his country because he realized his goal was not to take the money, because they were getting money, I think, from some kind of oil or something. But he did not take the money. He realized his power came from serving the people and being humble. And real leaders understand that. Corrupt people who are not leaders, they lead by greediness and corruption. The FBI declared the declared the Black Panthers the greatest threat to national security. Yes, they did. They changed the cultures to elevate entertainers and the wealthy, and they also changed the music. Remember how our music was? We were using our music for political protest, and that's why the music changed. And do y'all know Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 wanted to sing music that was political protest music because the other singers at Motown were doing it, and they wouldn't let him do that. They always made him sing. You know how Michael had to sing that type of music he sang, You know, he didn't really start singing songs with messages until he got older and got away from everybody. You know, he was grown when he made They Don't Really Care About Us. But when he was younger, they wanted to do this type. They wanted to be a part of the political protest when we were using music. Power to the people. James Brown. I remember, I was a little girl singing Say It Loud. I'm black and I'm proud. All you used to hear in the neighborhood was Say It Loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. That's a no. Y'all know that's a big old no. And anybody who was teaching us that or giving us that, look how they ended up. Look at James Brown. In the end, look how long they kept that man out the ground. Look how many times they put him in jail. Look how many times, because when the FBI declared Black Panther Party public enemy number one, that's when COINTELPRO claimed, not COINTELPRO, what was it? Is it COINTELPRO? Is that what it's called? Or is it Interpol? I forgot the name of it, but it's a company. They created this organization to like kind of watch us. Okay. And they had steps to eliminate you. And the first step was, I'm going to assassinate your character, make you look crazy. And I wrote about this in school. This was one of my research projects. So when you do research on a project, you study it for like 6 months. So you study it for a long time. No, I'm sorry, 10 weeks. 10 weeks. 10 weeks. Okay, y'all know I'm confused. I'll be teaching school all week. Come on now. So you study it for a long time. Okay. So yeah, I studied this for a long time. And the first thing they did was they discredit you. They make you look crazy. They make you look like an alcoholic, a dope fiend, all of that. And you may not be any of that. But they use all the powers that be to make that happen. To make that happen. Look at Cat Williams. Cat Williams have been arrested I don't know how many times. But guess what? They asked Cat Williams, said, guess how many times I've been convicted? None. None. So you got to understand how they operate and what's the plan. And that's the that's the step. That's how it goes. I'm going to make you crazy. I'm going to ruin your reputation. That's the first thing. Second thing I'm going to do is, after I do that, that's when they intensify it. Okay. So after that, they start attacking you, like your family. They start doing things like physically, like in your world. So it's really interesting. So when you get a chance, you might want to look that up, because it's really interesting. And Huey P. Newton wrote about it in his dissertation. And I think it was called War Declared on the Panthers. And it was crazy because they were college people. The Panthers were intellectuals, and people don't understand that. So it was like, you declared war on intellectuals. So being a Black intellectual is a crime. Developing your country, developing your people is a crime. Kiki, you have a beautiful personality. Absolutely. Oh, thank you. Clear light. The color is the commonality. Many of these girls are homeless. Revelation says, the dragon was enraged at the woman and went off to wage war against the rest of the offspring, those who keep God's commands and hold fast to testimony of Jesus. Okay, what that got to do with anything? Explain that to me. There is a genocide in Nigeria. No one cares. They do demonstrate for others. Clear Light says, people are stressed out with their own problems. We have always been the bottom of the barrel. Yes, but but it was a time when we had each other, though. And that's that. I'm telling you, because I studied us from a historical perspective. So it was like I looked at our culture like how other people look at it from a factual basis. And there were always people in our community who had money, and there were people who didn't have money, and there were people who were in between. But guess what? We looked out for each other, and we took care of each other. And that's the thing we don't do now. We don't do that anymore. And that's where our community has crumbled, and it's broken now. It's broken. And how we fix it, I don't know how we're going to come back from this. I don't. It's going to take a while. We got to change our whole thinking. Phoenix was using scare tactics. They all use scare tactics. Burkina. Oh, thank you, Simone. Burkina Faso. Thank you. Burkina Faso. Okay. Oh, y'all so sweet. Thank you. Burkina Faso. Thank you. Yeah. That's what I want to know. What list? Where's the dang on list? Somebody tell me about the dang on list. What list? I couldn't find the dang on list. I want to read the list. Chick ladies like the creature from the chick looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. But all good. That ain't nice. Spike Lee and his wife are promoting Benin citizenship. But why? Why? Why would they promote us to go from here to a place that's unstable, that doesn't even have safe food? We have problems with food. So imagine the problems they have with food. I don't get that. That I don't get. That I don't get, people. That I don't get. He's probably getting something from somebody. He ain't promoting it for nothing. Why? Why would you promote us to go to a place that they don't even have good roads? Well, Benin is a little better. I take that back. I think they might even have 24-hour electricity, but it's nothing like compared to here. And he probably don't even know, but you're going to get over there. And I don't care if they do got 24 lights. You still going to have a hard time adjusting. You're still going to have a hard time getting the things that they need. I have a problem with people promoting us to leave America. Why would we do that? Would my grandmother leave? Ask yourself, would your grandmother leave? No. Would your grandfather leave? No. No. Would them people who pick cotton down south leave? No. Leave for what? All they did, all they went through, and you're going to walk away from that? No. No. I'm going to enjoy these good roads. I'm going to enjoy this good air. I'm going to enjoy these nice big houses in America. This good American air, this good American AC, these good American roads. This good American internet. I'm going to enjoy all of it. These good American dollars. I'm going to enjoy all of it. But they're telling y'all to leave. To leave. And do what? Go to a country that don't even have a social system that can help you if you get hurt and you can't work. And Spike Lee is older, him and his wife. Why would you be doing that? Hi, Cayenne Works. Why would you be doing that? Yeah, she's in Benin. And why is she? Because she just wanted to get on the video. I told y'all, she just wanted to get on the video. I am glad you're covering this simpleton scammer. Yeah, that was a big scam right there, y'all. On October 4th, Burkina Faso hasn't rolled out a legal diaspora specifics. That's what they're mad about. They haven't done that. There's no official. No, it's not. And that's it. There's no official denial. They just don't. They want them to have a plan broken down step by step what they're going to do. They don't have that yet. So now they're saying they didn't renege. They just haven't had that yet. So see, that's a lie. Burkina Faso is more concerned with becoming a world economic power and maintaining a strong military to protect itself from Western powers. So y'all worried about the wrong thing, Phoenix. And I knew that because that's what I kept reading. What she just showed us, that is exactly what I kept reading over and over again. That same thing, that no, they have not done that. No, they have not done that. No, they have not done that. Scammer scamming. Yeah. Fake news and just gonna lie. So you can't believe nothing they say for real. You cannot. Africa has some serious issues with the abuse of women and children. 500,000 women and oh God, that's why I would never go there, honey. This ain't no lie. When I listen to South, I can't even watch about South Africa. It's so bad how they treat women over there. And them women over there are beautiful. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm just saying that's an attribute of the women in Africa. Even a woman who isn't attractive does not need to be treated any type of way. But I'm just saying, those men have opportunities to marry beautiful women. Like there's more beautiful than unbeautiful. You know what I mean? And why grape them? Why put your hands on them? But it's just like, that's just what they do over there. And it's just like, no, I can't even watch stuff about them. Nigeria has 29 million single mothers who are struggling to help with. Well, see, that's because I believe part of that problem is those young women like to sleep with those what they call them? What they call the ones with the, oh Lord. They like to sleep with the men who have money. 9 times out of 10, the men who have money are married. So they get pregnant by the men who have money because they think that's a way to continue to keep this income coming in. So these young girls, I can't 100% blame someone else for what they're doing, because prostitution over there is bad. And they start young and they don't care. They don't care if he's married. They don't care if he has 2 wives. They don't care if he has 3 wives. They just want to be part of the collection. And if a baby gets them part of the collection, then so be it. And I'm not saying all of them. Some of them have had bad things happen to them and they wind up with children. But then there's some of them who are out sleeping with married men, or men who they think, are, bosses. And if they think you a boss, oh, they coming for you. You best believe that. Oh, Lord, Chicks looks like Mr. Magoo. Y'all are there. Y'all go. Kiki, she is up to her old scamming. Yes, honey. Again, the information that she is stating about shouldn't be, it was private information. She don't know what she's talking about. Also, you really need to run from the West. Why do a French-speaking country? What? Thank you. I didn't even think about that, girl. Why run to a French-speaking country? We don't speak French. Why would you go there? You know how many problems you're going to have? Why would you do that? You see what I mean? Because I want you to use my consulting firm, a French-speaking country, and you speak English. I went to a French-speaking country, Cameroon. And when I was in the French-speaking province, it was ridiculous. I asked them, can I go to the restroom? They sent me to the restaurant. I couldn't communicate with anybody there. I agree, Kiki. I watched her too. And there were no, and I looked, and then I watched this fool, and he didn't have no sources either. And then I went on the internet, couldn't find none. I asked Google. Then, I went to talk to my friend AI, and my niece laughing at me once again. And he couldn't give me no sources. And then when he did give me some, it was Phoenix. And this dude, I'm like, oh. And then I looked where he got that information from, and I'm like, you got it from, because I told y'all YouTube are primary sources. YouTube is a primary source. AI checks primary sources. So this is a primary source. But when they give you a primary source to a video like this, you got to check the video and see where they got the primary source from. You see what I mean? And they did not give a primary source. So therefore, I don't know where they got this mess from. Hey Liz, how you doing? Burkina Faso kind of betrayed these Black Africanists, Pan-Africanists, and are giving priority to India, who are helping. Thank you. Well, okay, come on now. They're giving priority to the people who are help building the country. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Instead of somebody who's coming there just to build their own little bitty house. We ain't going there to build nothing for them. We're going to go there and build something for ourselves. So wouldn't you? Of course they are. They're investing in the country. So how they betray them? The Pan-Africans have betrayed themselves. They betrayed themselves. Who are helping them build their Bama Dam Bridge. They don't want Pan-Africans in that nation annexing land. That's all they're going to be doing, trying to get some of their land. No, they sure don't. They said, we ain't got time for y'all. They know the drama y'all cause everywhere we go. I'm sorry, y'all was thirsty. Land scamming. The land scamming gonna start. He probably like, nah. No, she ain't no citizen of Benin. Neither is her husband. Yeah, she's Simone. She's selling some. Then think of this. She's selling services for Benin, but she's talking about Burkina Faso. Why? Because I can. That's a chance for me to get some people to sucker them in. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So it says, Google says Burkina Faso switched from offering citizenship to permanent residency, but it's pretty much the same thing. Except permanent residency, if it's like here, permanent residency, you can't vote. It's like little bitty stuff. So that's pretty much the same way. Same thing. They just crying. They still gonna get the passport. So what's the big deal? Thank you, Liz, for looking that up for us. Kiki, she knows it's solid. Kiki, how she know it's solid? What is she on? What is she on about? I don't know how she know anything. She didn't say. How they different, Kiki? I don't think that too. South Africa is like America. Oh, girl, not to me. Ugh, yuck. We not known for grape. They known for it. They known for raping women. That's what they known for. We ain't known for that. We known for, y'all know what, not liking us. That's what we known for, not liking us. Yeah, that ain't the same. That ain't the same thing. And that not liking us is tied to economic factors. The grape, what is that tied to? A sick, twisted psychopath, narcissistic, sociopath. That ain't the same thing. When there's things like that, like graping and racism, there's things there's a backstory. There's something behind it that's causing that. What's causing that issue in America is the economy. Who wants the wealth? The distribution of wealth. They don't want to redistribute the wealth. So that's what that's all about, the wealth. What is the graping all about? Please explain it to me, because I want to know. What is the graping all about? That you're known for that? So much so that I ain't never going there? Honey, bye. And I had opportunities to go there and do research, and I said, oh no, they grape too many women over there for me. I don't have no use for no place like that. Clear Light says, Kiki, you are wise. I have learned a lot about Africa. Oh, thank you. That's what my friends in graduate school used to tell me. When we were graduating and we got to sit around and tell, each other what we were thankful for from each other. They all told me they were thankful because I taught them their history. They said, we didn't know until we met you, because we would be sitting around, y'all, just eating, and I would just bust out talking about Black history. We would be at work typing on, because we all worked in one big office, but we had our own little cubicles, and I would just bust out and start teaching them a lesson about Black history. I started talking to them about Africa. Yeah, I sure did. I sure did. And they learned. They was listening, because when we graduated, they all thanked me for that, and I started crying because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I touched them like that. Like those little lessons I would just give them would just, touch them. And my trips, and I would talk about my trips to Africa and what I did, and how the people were and what, the experiences. They were just like, they couldn't believe it. Is the lady an attorney? Nah, honey, she ain't no daggone attorney. Right. Sit down, lady. Exactly. Your video protects people from scammers. Oh, clear light. I'll be praying for that, because I always tell God this is his show, because y'all know I'll be sitting somewhere asleep right about now. I will be sitting somewhere asleep right about now. But no, it's like, come on, you got to do this, because you see what's going on out here, and people need to know, and nobody's telling the truth. Very few people tell the truth. I watched him too, but he had a different spin on it. Yeah, it was still about his money, honey. I have been into Benin and Nigeria too. Yes. I personally like the French-speaking Africa. Let me think. The French-speaking Africa compared to the French-speaking one, to me, was more laid back. They weren't as uptight. Even though Cameroon had this little revolution atmosphere, it was cool. It was like little cafes on every corner, like little French cafes. It was all about socializing and the parties. Cameroon was all about the parties. It was about the parties, like who had the best parties. They really competed to see what family would have the best dinner parties. So, but Nigeria, it wasn't like that. No, and the men are different. The French, the men from the French speaking countries, the Africans, the Francophone countries, those African men are, to me, they're more suave. You know what I mean? They're more suave, than the English ones. The English ones are just straight out to the point. The French speaking ones are very suave. They got a lot of style and class and charisma about them. That's what I've noticed. Okay, everyone is hyping Burkina Faso, but talk is cheap. Time will tell. Hyping, I don't know why they would be hyping it, honey. I wouldn't be hyping it. What is there to hype? You don't know nothing about it. You don't know nothing about it. And ultimately, the leader is young. Young people have very young ideals. You know what I mean? And you need to, like how the judge says, go get me precedent. Go find me someone where this has happened and what they've done. Go research and see what other people have done. But young presidents don't like to do that. They want to just run with their ideals. And sometimes their ideals are a little bit too wild and unorthodox because you're young and you don't realize that. You don't realize that because, you got to experience takes time, and wisdom. You need all of that to make wise, mature decisions. You can't do that at 30 years old. You got to grow into 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? You got to. You can't just, it's not what people make it out to be. And that's the thing. That's the thing right there. That part. Yeah, that part. So let's go and see what this person is saying. Let me move this. I would go to the nearest embassy of the country I was interested in and ask them what was needed. What was needed for what? What you mean, what was needed? What was needed for what? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Trying to figure out what this message. What's about? Okay. Let me look at this one. Burkina Faso is going through some things right now. I won't go at this time anyway. That's what Liz is saying. No, there are, and I don't even know why you would be trying to live there. Much let you ain't trying to visit, let alone go live there. Honey, I studied Africa. Okay, I ain't going nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. That's all I can tell you. T and K, how many times have we listened to these fools? Yep. I actually have deep ancestry among the Fulani. How do you know that? So how you know that, Enoch? Tell us. Did you please don't tell me from that African American ancestry test? Please don't tell me that's how you know that. How do you know that? Because do y'all know ethnic groups? Okay, we ain't talking about that right now. I'm going to get off track. But how do you know that? Tell me how you know that. Just tell me how you know for sure. Because my understanding is very difficult to tell what ethnic group. The ethnic group is a gamble. It really is. So how do you know? How can you definitely say that? Kiki is telling the truth. All right, now we're going to move on to the update on these stories. Their immigrant policy, Tanzania, they don't want you there. All right, let me pull up this story about this girl so we can get started. Okay. So I asked my friend AI about, I told you I just researched on, well, he volunteered to do it for me. And he said he came up with Mika Ivy. And he said this one happened in 2005. And he said that Mika was a mother from Maryland who was reportedly drugged and kidnapped from her hotel in Tanzania in September of 2025. After returning home from a nightclub, she was drugged in the lobby and woke up in the man's car. She managed to escape, and after an initial resistance from the hotel staff, she contacted the embassy. No, I'm sorry, the hotel staff contacted the U.S. Embassy, and the local police report was filed on the incident. And remember this one, y'all? I had forgot about this one. 4 American citizens were in Mexico in 2023. Remember, it wasn't a couple, it was a family. Let me go ahead and read it. 4 Black American friends, including Latavia Tay McGee, were kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico. The group had crossed the border for one of them to get cosmetic surgery. The FBI identified the 4 after a video of them being forced into the truck was made public. 2 of the victims were later found unalived, while McGee and another were found alive. Y'all remember that one? They went to Mexico and they showed the video, and it was horrible. And they were throwing them in the truck, in the back of the truck. They were saying that they were cartel. They were coming there to do some drug dealing, and they were not. They were going there to do, to get her surgery, and they just went with her. And then they, after the cartel found out what they did, the cartel turned them over to the Mexican police, and the cartel apologized to them because they said, they didn't have nothing to do with that. That was not what they're about. Remember that? That was them. That was that family. Kimberly Sue Edcott. This happened. I didn't know nothing about this one, y'all. And this one happened in Uganda in 2019. It said an American tourist. I'm going to try to find out something about this. Kimberly Sue Edcott was kidnapped at gunpoint while on a safari in Uganda's Queen Elizabeth National Park. She was held for several days along with her Ugandan tour guide after being rescued by a Ugandan security force. Now that's just a few stories, but look, let's go to the, so remember we were talking about Mika's story. And in Mika's story, we had a lot of questions, right? I remember I said I didn't want to talk about it until I got more. Well, honey, I got more. I actually got the news. She went to the news. And that's when I seen it on here. I'm like, this girl was traumatized. So let me show y'all what happened to her. This was the one we talked about last week, Mika. And this is fair use. Because do y'all know every time I use a news story, like from a news source, do you know these greedy people want half of the revenue? One news source claimed it. They claimed the whole video. The one lady who passed away in the Ivory Coast, honey, they claimed the whole video. So I don't even get paid for that video. So that's what I'm telling y'all. This is not about no money for me. This is about keeping us safe, because I enjoy going to Africa, and I've been 13 times, and I want you guys to enjoy going to Africa too. You know, it's good times, it's bad times when I'm there, but that's life, ups and downs. But look at the stories. And that's what my grandson's mom said. She was like, look at, they call me Key. She was like, Key, look at the stories you have to tell. Every time I would come back home from Africa, she would always say, okay, I want to hear one of your stories, because I got all kinds of stories about when I go to Africa, you know? So I want you guys, if you have a desire in your heart to go to Africa and connect like that, I want you to be able to do that. And I want you to do it safely like I did and come back like I do. All right, so let's check this story out. This is Mika from last week. Remember, Mika is the one who was in Tanzania. We didn't know where she was either. Remember, we didn't know any of that. But now we got the whole story. So let's listen to this, and then we're going to comment on it. We're going to talk about it.
A Maryland woman says she
let me say this is fair use again.
was drugged and kidnapped on vacation in Africa and barely escaped with her life.
She's just gotten home, and tonight she shares her story with Bob Barnard.
I don't know what happened to me. Just know I was trying to fight. I was fighting for my life. A grown-ass man.
Now, look at her face. This is crazy. Look, these are bruises. Oh, he was hitting her with his whole fist. Thank God he did not break her eye socket. Look over here. He hitting her with his whole fist. His whole fist.
Fighting for my life, you know what I'm saying?
We met best friends Mika and Queen at Mika's home in Montgomery County. They just got home Tuesday from what was supposed to be another one of their adventurous week-long vacations, this time to Tunisia. That's in northern Africa.
It was traumatizing. Like even here, like now, like she got her own house, I got my own place. We stayed together. Like we still scared because it's like, I don't even know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if y'all.
Mika says this past Saturday night, after returning from a club, she was drugged and kidnapped from her hotel.
So this is the club they at. Let me look around, see if I see anybody their color in there or look like them. No, I do not. From what I can see, they all look like North Africans. Okay.
After going to the lobby to get some tissues.
The next thing I remember, I'm in the back of a car. And I just started opening doors. I started panicking. I'm opening doors. I'm trying to get out.
She says a man was behind the wheel.
He's trying to pull me back in the car. I'm yelling, help, help, somebody help me. He's covering my mouth. That's where these scratches from. He punching me all right here. I don't know if thought he was going to knock me out, but I kept fighting. It was nothing. It had to be angels or something with me for me to, it's a grown man. He's punching me in my face, on my forehead, and both of my eyes. He's punching me. So I'm like, I just kept thinking I got to get back home to my kids. Like, I just got to get back home to my kids. So I just kept fighting. We're fighting. He's hitting me. We're going blow for blow. He's hitting me. I'm hitting him.
Queen was back at the hotel, the Penthouse Suites Hotel in Tunis.
She said, we going blow for blow. He hitting me. I'm hitting him. See, these are the things that they don't expect. You know, this man was not expecting her to fight like that. That's one thing they don't understand about our culture, how the women are taught to fight like that. Because we got to. We ain't got a choice. Okay? Because you got to protect yourself. Either you protect yourself or like Tupac said, you're going to be a victim. Yeah, you're going to be a victim.
Is from its website. She says they were less than helpful.
And I'm running around the hotel looking for her. And like, bro, y'all want to tell me where she is? Like, what's going on? What's going on? And they started telling me like, oh, she left with this person, or she left with this person, or she made a friend. And I'm like, how can she make a friend? She doesn't speak these languages.
Mika has 2 black eyes, scrapes on her arms, and other injuries. She was able to get away and frantically make it back to the hotel.
All I could do was like go and try to get help and go downstairs and beg for help and beg for help. Like, please, y'all help me. She was hurt. Please help me, please. I have videos. They're like walking away. They like, this didn't happen here. We don't know what you're talking about.
They called the U.S. Embassy in Tunis and were soon met by embassy staff and local police. Mika sharing her story on TikTok and Instagram.
They really tried to kidnap me in Africa. I feel like they never expected for me to come back. I was not supposed to come back to the hotel. I was supposed to, whatever plan they had for me, God had another plan.
We've reached out to the State Department, the Embassy of Tunisia in Washington, and that hotel in Tunis, but haven't heard back from any of them.
No.
If we do, we'll let you know.
Okay. What my friend AI say? They don't care. No. What did he just say? What the newsman just say? We reached out to the embassy. We reached out to the hotel people. No, ain't nobody could said no. We can't. They ain't even wrote us back. They won't even respond to us. Now imagine that. Imagine that. That's what my friend AI said. He said they do it because nobody cares about that population of people. And how you know nobody cares is because when things like this happen to them, there's no outrage. There's no response. The newsman was blown away. You see how he said it at the end? He was like, they haven't responded. The embassy should be outraged. The hotel should be outraged. Her state representative should be outraged. Everybody. But they're not. They're not. Just like the AI man said, they're not. That's why it continues, Kiki. That's why they're doing it, Kiki, because they know they can get away with it. Nobody's going to come look for them. You see what happened to Anja? We called the freaking embassy. We wrote the, no, I'm sorry, we didn't call. We wrote the embassy. We wrote them several times. Several times. They asked us for her information. We got her information. They checked the hospital. They told us they checked the hospital. She was not at any of those hospitals. And that was about it. The embassy can't go and just go looking for you in another country. They can't do that. It's not the United States. They don't have no right to do that. All they can do is call their little police friends and say, little police friend, will you go look for so-and-so for me? That's it. And that's all. Because you see, when the embassy did come, they came with their own police people. So that was a story. That was a story. That was a story. And you know what? It's not, that girl is going to be so messed up for so long. For so long. Like she said, we both have our own houses and we've been sleeping at each other's house since this happened because we're scared to be away from each other. We're scared to be alone because they're probably scared somebody's going to come in and try to take them. That's called post-traumatic stress disorder. She said she researched it. No, honey, she went through a travel agent. I would sue the travel agent. She said she went through the dang on travel agent. So what do you do when you've done everything you should do? But you know what? One thing she should have done, shoulda, coulda, woulda, them that always show up after the fact and be telling you, oh, you should have done that, you could have done that, you would have done that. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. did more research on that country, on North Africa, because North Africa is a big no for me. That's another no. No, the no place, no go for me, North Africa, West Africa. A maybe go, East Africa. A maybe go, Central Africa. A go for me is West Africa. Because I know I've studied all the little regions. That's how I picked one. I had to pick one. To pick one, I had to know something about each one of them. So I looked at, you start off studying all of Africa. And then as you go higher in your grades at school, you study. You have to narrow it down. You got to focus. So that's when I chose West Africa. And the other ones I didn't know. North Africa has too much of an Arab influence for me. I know I'm not Arab. I wanted to learn about myself and my own people. So I'm not, and then the Arab, they've been involved in, I know, the slave trading business forever. And they really have no respect for women. I shouldn't say that, but that's just what I've heard. That's my opinion, okay? It's just my opinion. From my experience and what I've read, okay, that their value of women is not the best. All right, so I would have never went there. And dressing the way they were dressing, yeah, that's a big no. That's a big no. Going out to the club, they think you just out there drinking. They think you just out there drunk. They think you just a nobody. Don't nobody really care about you. What kind of woman are you traveling to another country, especially an Arab Muslim country by yourself? You know, you think, well, it's Africa. Yeah, but no, Africa's not like the United States. It's a little different. It has regions, and each one of those regions has different cultures and different social norms. And if you don't know them, I wouldn't advise you to venture into those regions without knowing the history of that region. I will catch the replay. Turn up juice, Kiki. You so funny. Okay, bye. I didn't mean to say turn up juice. I was trying to say tonic. Y'all know I'm getting tired. Y'all know I'm tired. The whole West Africa is waiting for what happened in Burkina Faso to spill over into their country, especially. Man, okay, keep waiting. Yeah, okay. They waiting until it actually happens. Look at Cameroon. It actually happened. You think they're happy? TNK says, I find a lot of, what's that? Zanu says offensive. Of what Zanu says is offensive, but might not need to revisit him. Who y'all talking about? Yes, leaders are far and few now. Yeah, honey, it ain't none. Everyone, please hit oh yeah, thank you, Jam Jars. Y'all please hit the like button. Even Tracy Chapman's music. Yes, I am offended at times too, but I have thought about things he said. Okay, y'all talking. Our COINTELPRO, is that what it's called, y'all? Yeah, COINTELPRO. What did I call it? Interpol. I think Interpol is what? Ain't that like the service they use or something? But honey, I studied all of that. COINTELPRO, I think that's the one they use to take them down. Like they created that just to stop us. Because Black people was back then, y'all, it was just so wonderful because we were coming into ourselves. You know, we were creating our communities. We were feeding ourselves. The Black Panthers started the lunch program. They had like a pantry. They were feeding you in the morning. They did a breakfast program. They started the sickle cell programs in the schools. It was so much we were doing for ourselves as a community. Could it be generational post-trauma that causes the African people to be so cruel and greedy to each other? No, I think they were like that before. Remember, they were like that. That's why they sold us. Yes, they will destroy your reputation. The King Alfred plan. What is the King Alfred plan? The information she is speaking of was not supposed to be made public. Really? How she get it? The Q, then how she get it? Yep, did he know all about that? They grab a Black man by his and start pull. Oh, Lord. Yes, the Panthers are definitely for the people, and they sure did, and they stole the programs, y'all, and act like they created them. And I'm sitting there like, so y'all not gonna say the Black Panthers created this program? Y'all not gonna say they created the breakfast program, the lunch program, sickle cell testing in school? Y'all not gonna say they did that? The pantry giving out food to the community? Y'all not gonna say they did that? No, they're not gonna tell you who they really are. Nigeria is not in the middle of genocide. That's simply not the lived reality. Exactly. I don't think people have the same fortitude now. Everything is instant gratification. It sure is. Spike Lee do not even live in Benin. Do he? Yeah, exactly. How are you going to tell somebody else to go there? Hello, let's have a conversation about why would we do that? Why would we talk about that? Why? So ADDI is the organization that is supposed to be helping the people go relocate to Burkina Faso. But we're not going to hold a whole conversation about that. We don't talk about that on this channel. You must never been on this channel because, honey, we sure don't talk about that. As you can see, I changed the whole thumbnail and the whole title. When I looked this up and I saw this was just whatever it was, I don't talk about politics, and I sure don't talk about, no, not in depth like that. Hey, y'all, I used to have news twice a day, the time to digest it. Today we are broadband. Okay, 24. Yeah. Yes, Phoenix has been a scammer. It's not about it's about ADI. So what is so ADI? Isn't ADI their organization who's organizing all of this? Isn't that the people who are doing that? But okay. I mean, okay, whatever. All right, I was born in the UK. No way will I be an immigrant to another person country. I have a comfortable girl. I know that's right. And my parents went through a lot. And yes, thank you. I'm not doing that. If you want to be real, what real story? We don't want no real story. We don't care like that, okay? I'm sorry. We don't care like that. No, we don't want the real story. We don't care like that. At least I don't care like that, okay? Because I'm not going there. I'm not promoting the country. I'm not promoting people to do anything with the country. The only reason I talked about it was because I wanted to point out how scammers will take any opportunity to scam. It's not about BF, nothing personal, but I have no interest in that country or what they're talking about. Clear light, it's a matter of choice. I was born in the UK, but I rather prefer to live in Africa. Yeah, it's a matter of choice. She's right. Okay. I don't mind visiting my parents' home. Okay, so look, y'all, I'm going to go down here. Oh, I'm behind in the comments. I'm way behind. I must have been talking a lot. Oh, Jesus. Edra says ADI is begging for $1 million. Honey, girl, what you begging for $1 million for? What are you begging for $1 million for? Interpol, International Police. Okay. Arabs have a very low opinion. They sure do. She brought her sister girl attitude over there and got, yes, that's what it was. System is the Khalifa system is practiced in African era Islamic countries. Look into it. Okay, I don't know what that is. She was driving, and I don't study African countries. I've told y'all that. That's North Africa. How was he driving and punching her in the back seat? That's what I said. Unless she woke up. I don't know. You think somebody was... That's what I was trying to figure out. Maybe he stopped the car when she woke up. Maybe she stopped the car when she woke up. He stopped the car. And maybe they started fighting then. That's the only thing I can think of, because I thought about that too. And then I thought, well, maybe the girl was somebody was in the back seat. Social norms are not the same. It's no excuse, but you should know where you're going. Travel advisories are not for hating. They are to inform travelers. They really are. And I'm sure they told you don't go out by yourself at night. And I'm sure they told you single women should do certain things, because North Africa is real strict on women, on female rules. There are sites in these North African countries selling African female domestics. Yes, I believe it. I believe, and that's what they'll do. They'll use them for. Yeah. Yeah, she's extremely lucky to have escaped. So let me show you another one who's extremely lucky to escape. And then when I saw this one, I'm like, oh, so this is what y'all doing over there to the young girls who going over there not expecting, because they're not expecting this. You know, you're not expecting this is going to happen. So you got your guards all the way down. And I'm sure whoever's sending you over to these countries are not telling you this stuff. So this is another one, y'all. But she was in Colombia, and she was with her 3 friends. And this story is unbelievable, but it sounds eerily similar to Mika's story. And I'm like, oh, so it's the same MO. This is just what they do.
Y'all, this is real. This is not to shit on nobody country, but don't go there as no Black woman. They target young girls. The ratio is 80-20 when it comes to male and female. Like, it just wasn't safe out there. So I gotta start from the whole beginning.
Did she say
and I don't want nobody telling me, oh, I've been there before, I never experienced that.
Did she say the ratio? And she right, they target young girls, because you see she's in the same age. She's probably a little younger than Mika and her friend Queen, but you see these are young girls. These are very young girls, very young ladies. And that's what they target. They target them for kidnapping, and they target us just to unalive us and take the money. Yeah, they're going to sell them for money, and they just going to unalive us and take the money. Yeah. So either way it go, you a target. Either way it go, you a target. And you better know that. You better be careful. You bets to be careful. Because these people ain't playing fair. They are not playing fair.
Don't discredit what happened to me, and don't try to undermine that shit. I need therapy. This is very traumatic. What happened to us? So let's start with the delays. It was so many delays even trying to get to Colombia. If y'all watch my other stuff, we missed our first flight. Okay, cool. We were supposed to get to Colombia at 12 p.m. We didn't get to Colombia until 10:30 p.m. that same night. All right, so basically, like, our first full day, this happened to us. So I meet Kalia Denise, y'all know her. That's my mutual out there. I said, oh dang, she in Colombia too. Let's link. So she said she gonna have her driver pick us up. I took some pictures. That's where I could see those videos. This happened that day, like it happened literally our only day in Colombia. So we went on the party bus. We cool. We drinking their beers. We're talking. We're laughing and stuff. When we stopped to our first stop to the locals, they trying to sell us the green stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, we was thinking about purchasing, but it looked like the how it looked and the price of it. He was trying to like sell it to us. We were just like, nah, we don't need it that bad. We bought like a fan. We bought maracas and like a satchel or whatever. So this, like, after we got off the party bus, everything went haywire. So we got off the party bus. Kalia was like, do y'all need a oh, I forgot to add this part. When I told Kalia how many delays we had, she was like, oh girl, I would have went home. So now all of this, it was so many foreshadowing events that happened.
And she's right. That's signs to go home. When you have delays like that, that's not being denied. That's God warning you, don't go. That's him saying, do not go. Do not go.
When we told her we didn't want to ride with her driver anymore, because that's how we got to the city. Her driver took us. She has a personal driver. That's why she stayed in Colombia. When we got there, we was like, no, we'll just go by ourselves to the club, and then we'll just get a ride back. We'll take a yellow taxi. You're not supposed to take a yellow taxi out there. They tell you the locals will tell you that Uber is illegal because it doesn't give you tangible evidence on who they are and how to track them. So that's how we got into that's how that happened. My bad. Let me get my train of thought. Okay, so I left off at the taxi stuff, but I forgot to say when they trying to sell us stuff, like it was kind of overwhelming because it's a whole lot of men just trying to sell you this. They putting stuff in your hand. They trying to do this. They trying to do that. And in the midst of that, my friend, she had her money out, and it's like in a little envelope. And we was like, well, we don't want to flash like that, but she wasn't trying to. But it's still like, it's just that's neither here nor there. We just wanted to add that, like it was kind of overwhelming with the purchases and everything, and how they was just like trying to hound you. So, huh? Oh yeah, we had to pay to pee, and like it was just like they was nothing is free in Colombia. Like nothing is free. So we didn't like the food at our resort either. So when we decided to go to like a club, first we went to Taboo. We went to Taboo. Um, the vibes just wasn't there. Like a burger was like $38. We like, are they trying to? Like, okay, we're not trying. We just trying to go somewhere like cheaper. Like we thought, whatever. So when we go to Casa Palenque, that place that's always advertised in Colombia for being just so safe, cultural, and nice and stuff like that, we got the Casa Palenque. We went upstairs. We didn't like the food either up there. I think it's just a way of how they. I don't like the food. So when we got off for the taxis, we know not to go up to the eco people that's just trying to like take you. So obviously, well, not trying to take you, but like trying to just like accommodate you. I don't know. We just didn't go up to him. When he told us that it was 50, we was like, okay, never mind. We walking away. So he's watching us just walk away wherever we walking. And we ran into this man. Before we ran into this man, I hope I had a video when I get my phone. Like, you know how they be rapping to y'all? He was rapping to us, Bate Chocolate, and then I didn't want to buy I didn't want to pay him for that because I'm trying to get my Uber. Like he came up to me and then even had it down to the cat calling like the eye mommy, the biting, they wanting kisses and stuff like that. Like it's just too like overly saturated with flirtation. I don't know.
And that right there shows they don't have any respect for you. Okay. That over flirtation, that sexual stuff coming up to you, touching you, kissing you, that means I don't have no respect for you. You already have been over sexualized. So that right there should let you know he looks at you as a fetishization. I think that's right. It's like a fetish. It's a fetish. Like that's what you are. You're not a real thing. You're just a fetish. You're something I can use when I think of my sexual fantasies.
So when we got into the second one, it was a nice, handsome man. Like the one that did this to us, nice, handsome, young looking. Like he don't look like, but then again, you can't don't judge book. So when we got in there, he told us it was 52. Like it was 50 as well. We was like, you know what, we probably not gonna get no cheaper because our hotel, we didn't know. We stayed at Dreams Caribana. It's in the cut. So when he told us 50, we got in. When we got in, my friends, we naturally just put on the GPS just to make sure that everybody going everywhere. We don't just do this only there. Like we always do that when we travel. So my friend in the back, she noticing that he keep like missing like small turns. He's still going the same, like the correct way in general, but like he's still missing them. And like after he'll miss 2 left turns, he'll make up for it in the next left. So she was her eyes, she was getting sleepy, so her eyes getting heavy. She texted me because I'm in the front seat. She was like, Janae, put on your GPS. Usually I don't even listen like to her when I just be in the front. I be bobbing just on my phone. But like, just everything happening for a reason. So I put in the GPS. He missed his first 2 left turns and then the next one, like I said, he made up for it. So I remember us on the freeway and that's when I ran into the first red flag. Usually when we in another country, they always drive like fast trying to get you where they gotta go because they're going back
Yeah,
to
they
where the
sure
money is,
do.
where the meeting points are because it's touristy. So he's driving slow behind this one van. I'm like, okay, I don't really think nothing of it. I'm getting off Instagram, but I still got the GPS on. And I'm seeing that he kind of like looking this way, but I'm looking at him too. And let me insert the messages. Hold on. All right, y'all. So this part 3 of us escaping attempted kidnapping. So I left off at us at the first red flag of him being like behind this other van, like driving slow because the other countries that I've been in, they always drive like fast to get you where you gotta go. So I have the GPS still on my phone and stuff. We're on the freeway at this point. I'm about to show y'all the messages. So these are the messages right here. This is just normal paranoia for us just outside the country. We literally are not thinking nothing out the ordinary. The reason why I was comfortable with him like missing his turns because I'm thinking like maybe he know his city, he know how to get there. So by the grace of God, I woke up, y'all. Let me rewind. So at first when we got in the car, he had the windows down. He rose them back. I rolled some of mine up, and I noticed that he turned the air all the way on. So I'm getting cold. I'm guessing he thought we was drunk because when you cold, you're gonna go to sleep. So Maya was already asleep. My friend in the back seat. So I said,
And so you can't
like,
go to
that's
sleep.
cold in Spanish.
Why
You
would
better
you
say
go
that.
to sleep? See, that's another thing. Don't be going to sleep in no car, no taxi driving car, and you in another country. You don't know this man. You don't know this man from nobody. And y'all all done got in the car. You on your phone. You not paying no attention. Oh, this was so sad. This is so bad.
And so I just was moving the vents around. I'm wondering, like, he not playing on music, or at least trying to play on music, because our first taxi, he played the music and stuff like that. So let me fast forward. So when we was in the car, God woke me up. And I was like, nah, so you're supposed to be going this way, the U-turn to get back to our hotel, because that's how it was set up. He was trying to get in the far right lane. I said, no. He said, oh, okay. So when we get in the cut of the hotel, it's like we 5 minutes away from the hotel, y'all. So probably like what, a mile and a half, 2 miles, something like that. So he said, your GPS? I said, yeah, my GPS. Because I'm getting irritated. I feel like you're playing with me, but I'm still not thinking it's about to happen. So he was like, he said, your GPS again. So I put it in my left hand. I'm showing him like this. He take the phone, but not in a snatchy way. Like he just took it like, oh, let me see. He's like, okay. He zoomed out. Now that I'm thinking about it, y'all, he zoomed out to see how far would we be from the hotel, and where could he try to do his attempt at. Okay, so he had it. He was just staring at it, zoomed out. I'm like, all right, so I held my hand out, like, get my phone. He gave my phone back, and then he got on his phone. He typed in the code to his phone. It was like 2 something. I'm looking at the code, but I can't really see because it was too many numbers. So he got on his phone. I think he went to like Safari or somewhere where his search was, typed in a few words, nothing too out the regular. He slid his phone back on top of the steering wheel, and then he tried to make a left turn, but like I said, he had the directions already. You already knew to go straight. So as soon as he tried to buck the left, I said, no sir, you going straight. You know where we're going here. You know where we're going. Okay, straight. The way this man threw his car, and like literally a couple seconds later, he was like, okay, straight. I don't know, I think we passed over a speed bump, or since he was already like slowing down, trying to speed back up because I told him go straight. That's how it was like so comfortable and so convenient for him to hurry up and go in gear like that. So he went in gear, smooth as hell. Gear, in that same sentence, in that same breath, he took me and my friend phone. Like he took mine with his left and hers with the right, and then he starts like lunging at her. So Lex didn't waste no time, and I'm glad that all of our fight or flight senses was on right then. We wasn't trying to give my phone, be scared or nothing. I really don't know what his end game was, because anyway, let me fast forward. So he took her phone. She boom. As soon as her phone leave her hand, she punching. Now I start punching from the side because, mind you, he's lunging from the driver's seat to the back to my friend. So she bitch, like she punching him and stuff, and I'm punching from the side. So then my friend wake up. She said, Maya, this whole ass, like this nigga trying to kidnap us. So she's punching him. They both getting, like, he's getting punched by both of them in the back. When he comes to the front, and I'm punching him too. I'm punching him. And then he gets out the car. When he gets out the car, he kicks me, steel toe boot, like the way my hand is right here in my chest, kicked the shit out of me like this. And I felt it, but I didn't feel that as much as the impact, because my adrenaline, I'm like, because I'm really shocked. So are you see, like, are you, what the, like, come on. Okay, but I don't have no time to like act like I'm shocked. We still like punching. So he closes the door, and then he tries to pull my friend out, and I gotta come with a part 3. All right, so I left off when he chest kicked me, and then he went to the back seat trying to grab Maya. So y'all know that Lex was already like, Maya, get up, this nigga trying to kidnap us. So he opened the door, he trying to pull Maya out the car. Lex is trying to pull him in. So I really thank God for Lex verbally telling all of us like what to do and how to navigate. I'm pretty sure we would have figured it out, but like just her instruction just helped. So she was thinking, in her mindset, she was telling us like, either we gonna all be in this car and lock him out and try to drive off, like we said in the messages. I'm gonna post the other part too. And then she said, fuck, what I say? Pulling Maya out the car. I'm still in the front trying to work the stick. I don't know where the clutch is. I keep pushing the brake in the gear, but obviously it's a stick shift. So he realized that he can't go on that. Like he can't pull Maya out from the angle, like from the back, the driver back door. So he goes on the passenger back door where Lex is at, trying to pull her out. Lex still fighting. We fighting. So now he pulled Lex out the car by her wig. So I'm looking for our phones and like trying to drive off, but I couldn't do it. So I'm punching him like anywhere I can. So now that Lex and him are by this door, he pulled her out the car by the wig, and and Maya trying to pull Lex in at this point. So now she's pulling this way, and I'm guessing she pulled so hard that Maya and Lex was on top of each other. Like Maya was at the end on the back driver, and then Lex was right here on top.
I know
and the man was
she
on
is
top of
talking
both of them.
fast.
So that's how Lex started. That's why I did the hand movement like that. Lex was twisting that man nuts and biting his face, and I'm just jawing him. I'm like, Lord, please. I don't even remember.
So Clear Light, she's just saying, she's telling us about the fight. You know, she's saying, okay, this is how they found out. The GPS, she had the GPS on his phone. And she said he was acting funny. The way he was looking at her and the way he was driving, they thought something was wrong, okay, because of that. And that's what made them suspicious. And the girls started waking up. They were asleep, and then they started waking up and they started texting each other. And they were saying that they think, you know, this guy might be trying to try something. And that's when he looked over at her phone. She said she see him keep looking over at her. So that's what she's saying so far, okay? My nails coming off. So now they're fighting the guy. So he's pulled over. I guess they're at the part where she's pulled over, and now they're all fighting. I don't recall any of that except this one coming off when I hit him with my right hand. But
We were fighting for a long time, y'all. Like, we only saying what we remember, but it had to be way more other factors because we
Let
wore
me
this
see if
man
I can
out like
slow
he
it down.
literally gave up. So when he's pulling us like that, I keep losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. He leave them alone. He get out the car now. He's coming back around from the back way to the front seat. So now they telling me like, Janae, lock the door, try to drive off. I could not find the lock of it. So he tries to we doing a struggle right here, y'all. I literally Hulk smashed the door. Not that, but I'm pulling the door like this and it breaks off. The whole interior part of the door breaks off. And I don't know, did we get like when he did that when the door broke? Did I get out the car? I think I got out the car.
The first time when you was playing tug of war with him,
yeah,
that's when we tried to drive off.
Yeah, but I couldn't. Yeah. So then I think, okay, yeah. After the door broke off, I went to the passenger side, and that's when I was trying to look for our phones. And he got out the car and was just fighting them two, and he's staring like he just doing he stopped and he stared because I'm guessing thinking like this is not how I wanted it to go, and it definitely wasn't. Like we was fighting for so long. I'm only like anyway. So now I'm thinking like, fuck, we at least need one phone. So Lex start running off. As she's running, I'm holding on to the car like this. I'm holding on to the passenger car as the door is open. In a fetal position like this, he's driving, trying to brake check me. He drove for like 30 seconds, 30 miles an hour for like 5 seconds, and he broke. And I'm like, bitch, I ain't falling off. I'm in this hole. I'm like, bitch, I'm in my phone. And then we gave up. He started cussing at us. He get out the car. He throw Lex wig like out the car, and then he throws his piece of car that we broke off in the car, and then he tries to reverse, and then he's trying to turn around. So as he's reverses, I'm thinking he's trying to hit me and I'm like, this bitch I think he's gonna try to hit us, but then he drives off. As he's driving off, he don't stop. Like no, he stops, and then Lex is all the way at like a little, she's like probably like 30 feet away from us because she was running and she's telling us, y'all, come on, we gotta run. She running, she praying, she repenting. And as she's running, we see these 3 motorcycles. One of them was security and 2 was like other random people. We don't know who y'all are. We literally just running, screaming, help. I'm screaming, ayúdame, and help, in Spanish. And y'all, Lex tried to hide behind she tried to hide behind a pole, thinking that was gonna like help them not see her. Girl, they already saw us. We like, no, we don't want to talk to y'all. Fuck no, we running. So this the part 4. It's about to probably be the final one. So one of y'all asked, was we just in the middle of the road and nobody helped? No, like we had like a long road until we got to the hotel. So that's what happened. Like it was pitch black. There really wasn't nobody else around except for like little worker spots and other hotels if we were lucky. So when we were, they was like, who was Chantel? I said, oh fuck, okay, they know I lied. Later on, when we asked them, does this happen? They was like, not at this hotel, but it does. Like it's known for in Cartagena. We never knew that. So we rushed past them. We tell them a little bit of it, but we all going together because we don't have our phones. We go straight to our iPad. Luckily, all of us have iPads. So we calling our people. We crying. We hysterical. And then we go downstairs. We wait for the police to come. One of our friends was like, I really don't feel safe because like the hotel is open. And like I said, we don't.
Well, see, the same thing with the hotel. So we're going to stop there. So if you want to go see the rest of this, go on to I Am Asia. That's her name. I Am Asia is a channel, and it's called 3 Women Almost Kidnapped in Colombia. All right. You can go on there and finish watching that because that's kind of, you got like 10 more minutes left. So let me get over here and get your questions and see what you guys are saying. So that was their experience for her survival, and she was drugged. Okay. 2 Black women in North Africa are seen as, they thought they were prostitutes. Exactly. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's just how they're going to see you, whether you are or whether you're not. And you're staying at a hotel too, you are a prostitute. That's how they're going to look at you. This whole story is a lie. Why you say that? How did she get back to the hotel? She said she caught it. Remember, she said she went outside and she got in a taxi. Can't believe she went to Tunisia. It's next door to Libya. They are known for running slavery trade for Black women. I bet you she didn't know that. I bet you she didn't know that. Right. Because why would you even go there? And then you're going to the club, you out kicking it, drinking, partying. No, you can't do that over there. Why do you say that? All good. Not in Africa and Tunisia. They don't have any friends. Never drop your guard. Yeah, you don't have. Yeah, exactly. They have cameras. The hotel appears. Yeah, the hotel was clearly in on that. They do not even treat their own Black Tunisians well over there. It's a Muslim country. They looked at the footage. Yes, they did. She was separated from her friend. And see, that was what I didn't understand either. Like, I was asking myself that why would she leave her friend at the hotel? You know, why would she leave the hotel? Not the hotel, but the nightclub. You know, you in a strange country. And she said she don't like going out. But you left your friend in another country at the hotel, at a bar? And then you left? No, that was dangerous right there. I didn't understand that. I did not understand that. She went back to the hotel. She was drugged and kidnapped inside the hotel. The hotel staff was involved. Yes, we agree with that. Kiki, it is common knowledge that Tunisia is not a safe country for Black women to visit. But they didn't know it. I know it, but she didn't know it. None of North Africa. I wouldn't go anywhere out there. I believe she was drunk, talking mess to the staff, called a friend to rough her up. They called a friend to rough her up. Just like here, if you mess with the wrong sister, she would call her goon friends to rough you up in defense of their friend. So who was she going to call? She didn't have no friends, though. At Clear Light, this is clearly not common knowledge in the USA, or she would have not gone. Exactly. It's not. She's extremely lucky to have escaped. It is not common. You're right. There are sisters in those North African countries selling African female domestics. Wow. Social norms are not the same. It is no excuse, but you should know where you are, where you're going. Travel advisors are not for hating. They are to inform travelers. Yes. How does driving and punching her? Okay, we read those. Okay, I think I went back too far. 7:58. How far am I back? Ooh. Okay, I'm only 30 minutes behind. She brought the sister girl attitude. How you know that? All good. Arabs have a very low opinions of Black people, especially women. Yeah. Interpol. Okay, we said that. We talked about that. I think I went too far back. Was unalived by the police custody in Laman village nearby the Banjul International Airport. Police intoxicated innocent young civilians with their gas and hot water. Kiki always said not to travel alone. As women, that means have a man with you. Yeah, especially if you go into Africa. You can't go there by yourself, especially North Africa. You just can't. It's a patriarchal society. Like if you over there by yourself and you're a woman, they're gonna think bad things about you. Why do you think she lying? All good. She was acting up and got checked. Why do you think she's lying? What is going on with those young people? Colombia, yeah, that's what I said. I said, so they just think they can go anywhere they want to, huh? So this whole YouTube vlogging, I'm going to Bali, I'm going to Thailand, I'm going to Panama, I'm going to Colombia, I'm going to Tunisia, just so I can take pictures and put on Instagram. I want to go to these places. Oh, excuse me, to these places that sound exotic, that are extremely dangerous and a no-go for Black women. An extreme no-go. But who goes? We do. They don't know. What made her choose her tail to Colombia? Honey, she didn't say. Those young women need traveling to these young women need traveling to party. That's not wise. Yeah, they need a traveling to party. You're right. That's a good idea. Men go there for brothels and cheap sex. Yeah, they sure do. These young women travel to party. These young women travel to party, not wise. Yeah. Oh, they travel. That's what you said. They travel to party. Oh, I'm not traveling to party, especially not to Africa. That's disrespectful. If they think you coming over there to travel, if you coming over there just to party, oh yeah, that ain't good. If you do go party in your resort, don't go walking around clubbing it at night. She's right. Women go to the Costa Rica, Panama. Okay. Unbelievably, totally insane. Why are they doing? Why are they said they was, honey? Young and dumb, different these days. If you want Rico Suave, go to the nice places in Colombia. Oh, that ain't a nice place they went to. These girls are not very sophisticated, therefore they are easy. Yeah, and they can tell they're not very sophisticated. They don't make sense. Why are they in a Spanish-speaking country? The men think they are working girls. Yep, they do. If this is a norm, God knows how many times kidnappers have been successful. Exactly. Exactly. All for social media fame. Yep, Jam Jars, the whole story is a lie. She keeps saying that. These girls are leaving out real facts. Oh, Cotton Top, why do you think that? I hope their immaturity doesn't get them unalived. I'm like AI to the BS. I don't care. I don't keep up with her talking so fast. I can't keep up with her talking so fast. Please hit the like button. Yes, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, y'all. So in both of these stories, women don't have the strength to knock out a woman or wherewithal to grab one and secure the package in a thinning by what? By tying them up. I don't know. Oh, so that's why you don't think it's true. Because you said these men should be able to knock them out. But not when your adrenaline. It depends on how your adrenaline is going. If your adrenaline is going like that and your adrenaline is already high because you're in another country, I can't keep up. She talks too fast. Another sign she's really young. Kiki, thanks for translating. Yeah, that's another sign she's very young. If you, the channel holder, wants to a first-hand look at what happened with Adai, please let me know. No, I don't. Thank you for asking, but no, we don't want to know like that. Two women loud and drunk in a Muslim country. Oh, if that's the case, that's a bad thing. Did she just take a free drink? I hope she didn't. No, thank you to Throne. I support Kiki. What does that mean? She was talking about BS and the videos made are not by members. She was talking about BS and the videos made are not by members. Okay. Okay, sorry, I thought they were talking about Africa. We don't want to know about ADDI. We're not talking about ADDI. We were talking about the scammers, how they're using the situation in Burkina Faso just to make some money. That's what we were talking. That's what we were talking about, not ADDI. Female solo travelers protect melanated solo travelers. Protect yourself. Human trafficking. Is rampant worldwide. Legal human organ trafficking. Okay. The girls sound like the lady who allegedly was robbed in Tanzania and she had to take the robber. Okay. It means I have no interest, Jam Jar said. Nope. No problem. Black female, listen to our sister Kiki Loves Nigeria advice and do your own research. Yep, y'all know I'm getting sleepy. Oh Lord. To be honest, a lot of women are sex workers. So I think work dangers don't say that. You think that? Because you know what? Some of them was talking about they get flied out to countries to do, I hope not. I would never want to go to Africa, not at all in any other poor place. I'm not a traveler, but you Black women need to be more careful. Thank you. Uh, Ladies, take up defense courses. Human trafficking exists. That's no lie. Kiki, call me after your live. Okay, where you at? You gonna be here? Okay, I'll call you. Cause honey, I'm about to get off here because I'm getting sleepy. Falling asleep in a girl, who does that? Falling asleep in a taxi in a foreign country is irresponsible and reckless. Girl, that ain't no lie. All right, y'all. That's all we have for tonight. What do you think about the stories we talked about tonight? What do y'all think? Some people say, all good think she lying. All good just said flat out she lying. There's more to the story. It doesn't make sense. She ain't telling us the whole story. Other people are saying, why couldn't they knock the girls out? Why couldn't they knock the girls out? They just feel like there's things being left out in the story. And if this is how it goes down, then there should be lots of women who are kidnapped. If this is just what they're doing. So they're thinking there's more to it than what we're being told, as always. But all we can go by is the information we have, So somebody thinks that, one person thinks that Mika went down there and was talking trash about not having any toilet paper in her room. And that's what caused them to snatch her up. Other people think the other girls were, irresponsible, riding around, falling asleep in taxi cabs, not knowing what they're doing, where they're going. So, is this a case just of them being young and not knowing fully what dangers await them? Drop your comments and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. I just think I think they're young. I think they want to be social media famous. I think they want to be like everybody else and flash like they have this rich, extravagant life and they travel to all these exotic places. But some of these places are very dangerous and they know nothing about them. I think that's what's going on here, that these people want to be social media famous at any cost, even if it costs them their lives. All right, y'all. That's all I got for tonight. Yeah, that's interesting perspective because a lot of them do that. Thank you, Deborah. Please join. Jim Jar says, please join the channel, like and share the videos. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. It was really nice spending some time with you guys. How many other travelers on YouTube have off-screen security with them? What is off-screen security, Simone? I don't have no security with me. I don't walk well. I have my husband with me. That's my security. That's my security. They have naive, irresponsible. They are naive. They were naive, irresponsible, negligent, and reckless. But I'm happy they survived. I am too. Thank you. Hit the like button. Thank you, Deborah. Security not on camera. Many of them do. Have security when they're not on camera. Oh, you mean do YouTube people have security when they're not on camera? Probably, I don't know, honey. I just be with my husband. I don't be doing all that. All right, y'all. That's all. Oh, and then the people in Dayton don't know me on YouTube. though none of them know me. So I don't have to worry about that. So nobody in Dayton really knows me from YouTube like that. Solar travelers do self-defense classes. That's a good idea. London lady says, thank you. London lady. You have a Lundy, a Lundy. Girl, I'm getting sleepy now. You have a wonderful weekend also. All right. Full moon on Tuesday. Oh, Lord. Thank you for warning me. All right, Jam Jars, email me. All right, y'all. Love y'all. I see y'all next weekend. Bye, 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 bye. Hey, I didn't know you was on here, Maya. See you later. Thanks for stopping by. See you next week.